Good evening, and welcome back to the 31 days of Halloween with the Brickhead family. And tonight we have a chilling true story for you guys. This is a story of what made Daddy Brickhead become a believer in ghosts. This is a true story that even got the attention of Hollywood, as they have been interested into making this into an episode of the Netflix original TV show, Haunted. Tune in for this scary story, children, because this might just make you a believer.
Alright guys, it's Nick here. No makeup, no Daddy Brickhead. This is strictly me wanting to tell you a real life story. A lot of people do not believe that we actually live in a haunted house. And what I'm about to tell you is what made me a believer in the paranormal. I never believed it until I moved into our house. Here's our story. Alright, so let's start from the beginning here. It was 2002. And Holly and I decided to move in together. We ended up, instead of going into an apartment, we decided to buy a house. While we were looking for houses, my brother came up to me and said that he's trying to sell off his rental houses. So he cut me a pretty good deal on our house. It was May 2002 when we moved in. Everything was happy. There was nothing going on in the house. There's no eerie feelings or anything like that. Because remember, at this time, I didn't believe in paranormal. This was kind of like the start of the paranormal craze, I guess, on TV. I believe it was like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures were starting to really pick up steam. But, you know, it was kind of, okay, yeah, that's entertaining, whatever. It's just entertainment, it's fake. Well, it was 2004 when we realized that Mommy Brickhead was pregnant with Big Brickhead, Trent. It was then we decided to renovate a back bedroom. The little story behind this bedroom, when my brother was renting out the house, he rented it out to his girlfriend at the time, and her teenage daughter lived in this back bedroom. Her teenage daughter happened to be heavy into, you know, being a Wiccan and all the stuff that comes with that. So my brother gave her permission. She ended up painting that back bedroom like black and gray. So we think, with what you're about to hear, we think she conjured something up in this back bedroom. Because in 2004, while Mommy Brickhead was sitting in a bathtub, pregnant, alone in the house, I was at work. All of a sudden, I get a frantic phone call. There's something in the house. I'm like, what? There's something in the house. Or under the house. I'm like, why is that? She's like, I was sitting in the bathtub, relaxing, and all of a sudden, I felt knocks on the bathtub. I'm like, okay, maybe it was just the house settling, you know, trying to come up with excuses why this would be. And she goes, that's what I thought too at the beginning. But then it happened again. A few times there was knocks. And she said, it wasn't like they were light knocks. They were boom, 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 boom on the bathtub. So I came home, crawled underneath the house to make sure there wasn't anything in there, because it was a crawl space at the time. And I didn't see any animals or anything like that, and so we just chalked it up as being whatever it is. But from then on, Mommy Brickhead always had feelings that there was something in the house. So while she was pregnant with Trent, I took that back bedroom, and at the time the house had no insulation in it, so we wanted to make a nice nursery room So I was tearing out the exterior walls, and that is when I realized that the room was painted black before. Because whatever paint my brother used just to cover up the paint that was in there was kind of cheap. So you could peel that layer of paint back and see the black walls. Well, while I was peeling some of it, just kind of taking a look, we realized that there were pentagrams and stuff painted along with that. So while renovating this back bedroom, and after realizing that there had been pentagrams and just weird markings on these walls, that I started to realize something was going on as well. I would go in there at night, work on it after work, and then when I would come back the next day, the tools and stuff would be moved from where I had left them. Once again, the skeptic in me was like, well, maybe I just forgot where I put the tools at the time. But they would be stuck in the closet. They would be just everywhere. The room is fully renovated. We're ready to bring home the baby. So, within the few nights that we brought him home, of course he was with us in our bedroom. But when it was time to put him in his bedroom was when stuff started happening. Toys would go off in the middle of the night. We had a intercom system that had like a little nightlight on it that would project stuff into the ceiling and sing music, but we could hear them all the way in the other bedroom because of the two-way microphone. Alright, we are to the night I became a believer in the paranormal. It was a night just like any other night. Holly and I were laying in bed, and the baby monitor was on. The baby monitor always made kind of like a hum, like a white noise, noise. But it was kind of relaxing and it was easy to fall asleep to. And you know, you definitely knew if the baby was up because you know, it come across nice and clear on the monitor. Well, that night, Mommy Brickhead shook me awake, and she's like, I hear voices coming through the monitor. And I kind of rolled over and was kind of ignoring her. I was in a deep sleep. And she shuts me again. She's like, there's somebody in the house. I'm like, there's nobody in the house. And she's like, listen to the monitor. And you could hear soft whispers in the monitor, like somebody talking. Couldn't really make out what it said until I heard, nice baby. Good baby. And just like that, I got out of bed, walked all the way across the house to see if there was somebody in the house, in that back bedroom. When I got in there, I looked around. I didn't see anything. There was nothing in the house, nothing in that back bedroom. And I looked in the crib. Baby's fine. He's asleep. It wasn't him rustling around or anything. So just as I'm ready to leave the room, something grabbed my arm. Something physically grabbed my arm. Boom! Out of that room I flew, across the house, ripped open our bedroom door and slammed it shut. I was freaked out. Holly was like, what? Is there somebody in here? I like, something just grabbed my arm in that room. I looked in that room, there was nothing in there. Something just grabbed my arm. And she looked over at me and she's like, and you left the baby in there? I'm like, oh man, you know, it was one of those fight or flight moments, and I was definitely flight at that moment. So we knew that we had to go and retrieve the baby out of that room because he was not alone. He was not alone. So we went and I grabbed my softball bat and we walked back to that bedroom. When I walked into the room, nothing, still nothing in there. You didn't get a feeling or anything. So we took him out, brought him into our room. When we got into the room, the baby monitor started going off by itself, playing the music. There was something in that room. It wanted its babies back right then. So let's just say Big Brickhead, Trent, slept in our room for a few weeks after that, until we got the guts to put him back in that room. And we always had activity in that back bedroom. Toys would go off. That, like I said, that baby monitor would always go off. We would hear "Nice Baby." We would hear laughs come across that baby monitor. So it was at that time that I wanted to know more about paranormal. And from there, it kick-started my obsession. I wanted to know what in the world could physically grab somebody like that. Since then, we've had tons of activity in the house, because back then that house was the existing house we moved into. In 2008, we had to tear down the house and rebuild because of a bad flood. Things were contained to that back bedroom back when the old house was standing. But when we rebuilt and moved in, that activity spread throughout the whole house. So stay tuned for more spooky stories, true life stories of the Brickhead family.
Thank you for tuning in to the 31 Days of Halloween. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for another entry to the 31 Days. Also, make sure to subscribe here on YouTube. Make sure to also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. I am Daddy Brickhead, saying unpleasant dreams.